Hello, I'm Bob Jones. In this edition of Footprints, we meet Anyu Agga, an independent fashion designer of Yi ethnicity who has risen to fame from the grassroots of the deep mountains. This March, Beijing's fashionistas enjoyed a unique cultural feast in the form of a fashion catwalk. They were greeted by eye-dazzling silver headdresses, vibrant colours of red, blue, white and black, and an unmistakably Yi ethnic culture presented in a fusion of traditional craftsmanship and chic fashion aesthetics. The woman behind the show was Anyu Agga, a fashion designer who is deeply rooted in her ethnic heritage. She is committed to finding the intersection between ethnic art and modern life.
I hope to fulfill a mission, which is to use my own way to convey to the world the cultural charm and warmth I've felt since childhood, and to let more people feel the allure of our traditional ethnic culture.
Sichuan's Liangshan Yi Autonomous Prefecture hosts one of China's largest Yi ethnic communities. It's also the home of Anyu Agga. Yi ethnic attire bears a lot of Yi ancient traditions and history. Living close to nature in the mountainous region of Sichuan, the Yi people of Liangshan have created a sartorial culture famous for its rich motifs, exquisite embroidery, intense colors, and an overall design aimed for practical use. Embroidery is a life skill every Yi girl picks up almost unconsciously, including Anyu Agga.
Needle and thread were some of our childhood toys. When my mother was making clothes, she would toss us the extra bits of thread and fabric scraps. We'd be left to play with the needle and do our own embroidery for fun. We little girls love to have beautiful clothes and look pretty, so our hairbands, bags and dresses are all handmade.
Anyu Agga's mother is a smart woman who is particularly deft with needlework and dressmaking. Thanks to her mother's instinctive aesthetic taste and wonderful needlework, Anyu Agga grew up wearing beautiful ethnic clothing handmade just for her. Anyu Agga learned the age-old craft of Yi ethnic embroidery and traditional clothing making from a young age, simply by watching her mother sew garments for the entire family. She was especially captivated by the delicate embroidered borders that adorned the collars, sleeves and front panels of each piece. The beauty of the patterns and the clothing left a deep impression on her.
Yi embroidery isn't based on preliminary sketches. There's no sketches to follow. It's entirely freehand. From a young age, we learn to embroider whatever comes to mind. As we practice more, our skills improve, and so does the quality of our embroidery. Over time, this freehand technique becomes second nature, like a habit, as natural as any part of everyday life.
Anyu Agga's family lives in a remote village deep in the Liangshan mountains. Being the eldest child in her family, she has had to help with all sorts of family chores from an early age.
We didn't have many farm hands in my family. I'm the oldest of the siblings, so I had to take up some everyday chores, such as herding the cattle and sheep, feeding the pigs and chickens, as well as other stuff. My early school years were mixed with chores, such as herding the cattle and sheep or going to class with my baby brother strapped on my back.
Despite these challenges, Anyu Agga continued with her schooling and studied hard. After she entered middle school in the town, she found herself surrounded by students of various ethnicities from all over the prefecture. Anyu Agga's beautiful clothing made her stand out.
At the county middle school, I went to classes with students coming from other ethnicities. I guess the deepest impression of me in their memories is perhaps I was the one who often wore the Yi ethnic clothing. I love to wear my ethnic attire apart from my school uniform.
The clothes, hand-sewn by her mother, made her the envy of many classmates. Their unreserved praise deepened Anyu Agga's appreciation for the beauty of her ethnic attire. the seed of a fashion dream began to quietly grow in her. That dream eventually led her to Xizang University, also located in Liangshan Yi Autonomous Prefecture. After graduating from the art department of the university, Anyu Agga returned home, ready to immerse herself in the research and craftsmanship of traditional Yi clothing. It was then that an opportunity came her way. She was invited to contribute to a film project, assisting costume design for Yi ethnic attire featured in the production.
In 2004, I was contacted by a film director who had seen the style of the Liangshan Yi ethnic clothing and felt the historic elements in the clothing was exactly what he needed for the movie.
Then she participated in the making of another TV drama, thanks to her knowledge and skills in Yi ethnic clothing designing.
I was thrilled that my skills could allow more people see the beauty of Yi clothing. This experience emboldened my resolve to pursue Yi ethnic clothing design and to preserve our ethnic clothing culture.
She decided to go professional and set up her own studio to specifically make traditional Yi ethnic clothes. The making of traditional Yi garments is a complex process. It brings together traditional crafts like embroidery, drawn thread work, batik, and beading in a unified expression. Each of these crafts requires a lot of time and skills to complete. To further complicate the matter, Yi ethnic garments are often worn side by side with an assortment of silver ornamentations, from headdress to pendants. Lacking enough experience in such business operations, Anyu Agga's studio quickly ran into obstacles and had to close.
The setback hurt, but it didn't crush me. I had fallen deeply in love with the beauty of our ethnic clothing culture.
Anyu Agga readjusted her business objective and narrowed her range to Yi traditional clothing-inspired garment lines that are more suitable to today's life, which was a decisive step towards her later fashion style. As a start, she devoted herself to collect and catalogue the huge variety of traditional Yi ethnic garments.
Since 2002, I've traveled to many places where there's a large Yi ethnic community to observe their different clothing styles and customs. The Yi ethnicity has many subgroups, each with its own clothing style. The more places I visited, the more interested I got. I started with our own prefecture. From 2005 onward, I ranged beyond the Liangshan Mountains to Yunnan and Guizhou provinces and Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region.
Over a span of 10 years, Anyu Agga covered most of China's Yi ethnic regions, conducting field research and recording traditional Yi ethnic clothing styles.
If I was able to drive over there, I drove. If not, I would walk there.
She collected many items of ancient Yi ethnic clothing that have historic significance, including one garment that had been worn by 7 generations of a family. Anyu Agga believes that such garments have genuine historic value given its 100-year-old history. Hand-woven fabric, distinctive ethnic design, patterning and cutting, and fine embroidery.
We have such beautiful things. They deserve our appreciation and need our preservation. At that time, heritage wasn't yet a buzzword. It pained me to see many of our seniors pass away, taking with them their invaluable traditional craft. So I quickened my steps. I was nearly always on the road.
These field trips meant a lot of walking and time for pondering. In the process, Anyu Agga found the inspiration for her own future fashion design path. She realized that tradition must keep pace with the times to go further. A brand new style of Yi ethnic fashion was born in her mind. Anyu Agga made her first stride on the runway of her own fashion brand by reinterpreting and redesigning the jiashi and wala, which are wooden cape-like outer garments worn all year round by the Yi people.
Jiashi and Wala are living fossils of e-clothing culture. They are not just a craft or a warm garment. They are our ceremonial attire. On formal occasions, wearing them is a must here.
Jiashi and Wala are among the most representative of traditional garments of the Yi ethnic people. These woolen cape-like outer garments come in both long and short styles, and are indispensable in the daily lives of the Yi people, regardless of gender. They can be worn as coats by day, used as blankets by night, serve as rain capes in wet weather, and act as warm overcoats to ward off the cold. The making of jiashi and wala is an intricate process. From shearing the sheep to the final product, everything has to be done manually. Through Anyu Agga's reinterpretation, these capes have become cool modern-day fashion items that can be worn by everybody, yet retain their traditional features. Last December, Anyu Agga brought her original fashion brand to the Louvre in Paris. She was invited to stage a fashion show as part of a culture exchange project to commemorate the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties between China and France. Her collection included Yi festive costumes, everyday wear, and innovative new pieces. It was a huge success. These garments, rich in Yi culture elements and fused with modern design, offered European audiences a glimpse into the unique charm of Yi ethnic culture. Anyu Agga believes that ethnic clothing heritage should not be confined to museums. She thinks she should find a way to allow more people to experience the beauty of Liangshan's ethnic culture and art.
What I want to express is the infinite possibilities of e-clothing. I want to innovate our traditional clothing and bring them closer to modern life. I hope to achieve a balance where we won't compromise our traditional craft to suit our designs, and in the same light, traditional craft shouldn't constrain the artistry of our design. What I want most is to let people see my designs and say, "Wow, that is a beautiful piece of clothing."
In 2014, Yi ethnic clothing was added to China's national list of intangible cultural heritage. Anyu Agga has also become a recognized inheritor of this heritage and a prominent advocate for its preservation. But some of the traditional skills are in danger of fading away. For example, the Yi embroidery, which is a treasure of art rooted in the mountains and fields. From ancient totems to auspicious patterns, from vibrant colors to intricate compositions, each piece of Yi embroidery reflects the history and culture of the Yi ethnicity, the embroiderer's exquisite craftsmanship and artistic vision.
This is Gagu village, known as the top Yi embroidery village along the Chengdu and Kunming railway line. The embroiderers here all have excellent skills. Orders for their embroidery works are plentiful. Right now, they are working on my new releases for next season.
Anyu Agga's fashion line brings more income to the embroiderers in the village. The orders also help to keep their precious embroidery tradition alive and thriving.
These ladies embroider with traditional techniques passed down through generations. I never interfere with their techniques so they can comfortably integrate their craft into the contemporary fashion scene. They might be living in the deep mountains, but their handiwork has gone into households thousands of miles away.
This is what Anyu Agga wants to see happen. She wants the rich, intangible cultural heritage of Yi ethnic clothing and embroidery to be inherited and preserved. But this is just one Yi village. How possible is it to preserve and develop the Yi clothing culture and make it sustain as a whole? Her prefecture is not a well-to-do one. The rolling mountain ranges and inconvenient transportation have resulted in a slower pace of economic development than the coastal regions. Some people have left home for jobs outside the mountains. How then to bring stable incomes to the locals? Her approach is to promote Yi ethnic heritage through training and create more jobs through a thriving heritage.
I racked my brain for solutions to preserve our traditional clothing craft in a sustainable way. You can't force people to learn it, can you? So what's the way to coordinate it? Then I hit upon the idea, what if embroidery could count toward an academic qualification?
This is a brilliant idea. Anyu Agga put it into action in 2011. She approached a local agricultural school and successfully established a program centered on Yi embroidery. The program serves two purposes. One is to help girls in the Liangshan mountainous region to escape poverty through mastering embroidery skills. The other is to cultivate professional talents for the Yi clothing industry. The suggestion won the support from the school side. The program was thus set up, but the enrollment became a major challenge initially.
At that time, people couldn't see a future in the program, so we had a difficult start. In the first year, we only managed to enroll 29 students. We had to go door to door, convincing families to let them come.
Now those 29 have graduated and each has found their position in society.
The first group of students is doing great. Some have opened their own fashion studios, others have continued their studies. Each of them is happy with their current achievement, which is rare and hard-won.
In addition to working with schools, Anyu Agga has set up several bases for the local women to work to preserve their Yi ethnic clothing. Those activities have rekindled the women's passion for their traditional crafts. They too do the needlework from the comfort of their homes. Their family income has increased and they also see the value of their craft. For Anyu Agga, that can be more fulfilling than to see her ethnic fashion going into the wardrobes of more people. And her time-honored ethnic heritage continues to thrive and be appreciated in the modern world. This was the inspiring story of Anyu Agga, a Yi ethnic clothing culture inheritor who has brought her rich heritage from the remote mountains to the catwalks of the global stage. If you're interested in hearing more stories about incredible people in China, just key in Footprints and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Bob Jones. Bye for now.